Good morning and welcome to another edition of Life After High School. Today I'm here with Hayden Burdge. Thanks for coming in, Hayden.
Thank you for having me.
So I want to ask you some questions about how school's been going and what you've been doing to keep on track with things.
Okay.
How has high school prepared you for what you're doing now?
It depends on what your job is. So with my job as being a medic, taking biology, chemistry, health classes actually helped me towards my career and helped me be able to advance in it. It's helping me understand what I needed to do and understand the body. I mean, it's not in-depth as what they taught me when I went to school, but it's helpful to actually have that base knowledge of knowing what you're going into.
Interesting. Could you tell me how basic training worked, and was there any kind of aspect at school that helped you with that?
No schooling helps you with basic training. So my basic training is 7.5 weeks, and what I consider is an intense boarding school without a phone. You get there 0 week, and they put you in an auditorium, and they tell you to be quiet, and you sit there for about 6 hours, and they sleep deprive you. And then they put you at a random flight, and you get on a bus, and you head right to your dorms. You're in a dorm with 52 other guys, and they just start yelling at you as soon as you get off the bus. And from then on, it's just nonstop yelling at you. It was my first week, and you say, "Sir, trainee Burdge reports is ordered." Well, I had a female MTI, and I go, "Sir, trainee Burdge reports," and she just goes tearing into me. She's like, "I'm not a sir. Do I look like a sir?" And I will never forget that. But at the same time, they break you down to build you back up. They teach you the morals. They teach you what the Air Force is going to be like. They teach you how to march. They teach you your basics of military so that you understand what you're doing is not just a job. It's a profession. Week 3, I was doing gate duty. So we had this big door that you have to verify everyone that comes in. Well, one of the MTIs wasn't in the room that you're supposed to be in whenever you first get there. Well, I closed the door on him. He starts beating that door. He's like, "Why'd you close the door on me? You know who I am." I'm like, "Sir, I don't know who you are. I have to verify." So as I'm verifying him, I open the door, and he just starts tearing into me. He's like, "You know who I am. You knew I was in there." I was like, "Sir, you weren't in there." And he's like, "Yes, I was." And he's trying to get in my head because he wants you to understand that even though it may look like the right thing to let him in, it wasn't because he wasn't in there at the time. And so we have leadership that we have to memorize. And so he goes, "Who's your squadron commander?" I said, "Lieutenant Colonel Behringer." And he's like, "No, wrong." He's like, "You have one more try." And I got it right. And he's like, "Tighten your grouping." And he basically taught me, because you have to memorize, he basically taught me that along with your memorization, you have to be able to understand under pressure what you're doing. It was an incredible experience, and I think everyone should at least experience it. It may not seem like the best thing at the time, but it helped me understand and realize that the outside world is a lot better than what I was doing.
Sounds like a lot of fun. Could you tell me why you chose a military path and when you became inspired?
My dad was in the Air Force. He was a loadmaster on a C-130. My sister is a medic in the Air Force. Ever since about 9th grade, my dad has told me he has 3 options for me. Option 1 was to move out at the age of 18. He wasn't going to help me. Option 2 was go to college, and he wasn't going to help me. Option 3 was go to the Air Force. So I kind of didn't want to screw myself over in the future, so I went to the Air Force. But he also told me it's the best thing for my future. They pay for your college, they get you a job, you have a steady paycheck, and you get promotions pretty quickly depending on how well you do. And from then on, I basically knew I wanted to be in the Air Force just because I didn't want to struggle for life.
So you've gone through most of your schooling, correct?
Yes, I went through my schooling. So I have my EMT, and I'm working towards my paramedic right now. So those are my certs that will transfer out to the outside world. And our schooling gives us a chance to take our LVN in 3 different states as of right now. But I have to complete a little more classes to be able to challenge the LVN or LPN in all the states.
Okay, so I mean, you've done your studying and you've done all that. Now you still have to go on. You still get to go into college.
Yes, I can still go to college if I want to. Right now, I got 2 recommendations from my docs for pre-med. I would like to go for trauma schooling to become a trauma surgeon. It's a lot of schooling and a lot of time and no personal life, so it's kind of a hard decision. But right now, I'm actually working towards my health science bachelor.
So now that you're not in college and you are done with your schooling, what does your day-to-day life consist of?
So I work in a pediatrics clinic, so I deal with little kids anywhere from 2 weeks to 23 years of age. We'll do anything from blood draws to PKUs into STI checks for older adults. That's from 7:15 in the morning till 17:30 in the afternoon. And then after that, I have all the time I want to myself. I play intramural basketball, and I just really relax and hang out with my niece and my sister before they go off to Anchorage, Alaska.
So are you getting paid at your job, or is this more like an internship?
I'm getting paid. I get paid on the 1st and 15th of each month. And yeah.
Cool. So obviously your dad's really supportive of all this. How'd the rest of your friends and family feel about you going?
My family is very excited for me. They know that it was the best thing for my future. My friends were excited for me, but it's hard leaving your friends and family. It's hard being able to leave something you've been accustomed to for your whole life to just up and leave everyone and go and start a completely new life, not knowing anyone, leaving everything behind. It's very scary, but at the same time, it's exciting because you don't know what the future holds.
I think that pertains to anybody that's going off to do something after high school. What were some of the ways you dealt with, separation, anxiety, or just feeling?
It's nice now with the technology we have, being able to FaceTime people, being able to call people. Just getting letters in basic training was the highlight of my day. Every afternoon they mail call, and hearing your name called and seeing who wrote you the letter. It didn't matter if you knew the person barely or you've been a family friend. Getting any letter in basic training made your day. And it's exciting to see how far we've come, being able to keep in contact with each other the way we have. We have Xbox where I keep in contact with my buddies, and then I can Facebook group chat people. It's exciting to be able to be in contact with people that you thought you would never see again.
Yeah. So you're still in a dorm or an apartment?
So we have dorm rooms for people that have been in 3 years or less. And how the dorm room works is we have our individual room with a closet, and we're allowed to have a TV and stuff, and then we share a kitchen area, and we have a bathroom that we share, and you have a suite mate. You have to keep it clean. You have to keep it military clean. They can do random room inspections where if you fail, you have to show up in your blues, or you have to do extra work.
All right, thanks. It looks like that's all the time we have. Thank you for coming in, Hayden.
Thank you for having me.